What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back in another video on the channel, and today you can see the boxes. We went to the dad. Why did I go to the dad? The dad dropped a new meal. I don't know what to think of this, but they are called Papa Bowls. Yes, Papa Bowls. Not Poppables, but Papa Bowls. And it's somewhere in here. Of course, if I'm going to the dad, you know they got the little meal deal, so I had to get some other stuff. So that is what we have on the agenda today. New Papa John's review. I got a different kind of pizza. Tried something to see if it was a dub or not. You know how I get down. That's how we do. I don't even know what is in the rest of these boxes, if I'm being perfectly honest. But we are going to find out shortly. And we also have a hard-hitting topic. You know, I've been getting on these topics recently. A few days ago, I went in on a topic having to do with men having much more lower of a dating pool these days, and we brought the passion in the comments, and somebody said something in the comments, and I said immediately, congratulations, you just made a new video. So that is what we have today. New topic when we get into it, and we've got a vibe. So we got the dad, we got a nice little conversation at the end, so that's the agenda for today. If you're digging the content, of course, man, thank you guys so much for your support as usual. But drop that thumbs up, like, subscribe, of course, you know, the cringy YouTube stuff. You guys have been so great with that, and I know I say it every time because it still baffles me that you like me. I wish I was kidding. But anyway, let's get into these. You can see my boxes still have the quality seal on them. I did rip the things off here because, you know, the dad loves to put your address like right on the boxes, but the seals are still sealed. So let's get into some of these stuff. Let's start. I don't know what's what, to be honest, but this one smells like the dessert. We're just gonna start from the top. Normally I don't do this. We're gonna start right from the top. Let's crack that seal. See what we got in these boxes. Boom. What's in the box? What's in the box? Y'all know that movie reference? Yes, it is. We got the dad brownie. I got the cinnamon pull-aparts, which are my favorite, but I wanted to try the dad brownie because I don't remember having the dad brownie. This thing looks kind of mid, but it doesn't matter. We make content here. What's in this box? I don't know. Forgot what we got. Okay, let's see. Oh, cheesy breadsticks. It comes in a pizza, huh? Bro, I asked for spicy garlic. I didn't get it. I hope it's not, BJ. You know what? That's okay. That's okay, we move. I have spicy garlic in my all-purpose drawer. So we got the W cheesy bread, and you'll see why in a second when we get into these. I don't know which one's which. No, this is the pizza. Okay, we also got a pizza, which I want to try. I wanted to do something different. I tried a Alfredo pineapple pizza last time and it was a dub, so I wanted to try something where I was like, you know what, let's just go and kind of risk it for the bit. Oh, there's the special seasoning from the dad. Okay, so they didn't forget it. So this is what we got this time. We got a chicken bacon ranch pizza with the honey mustard, because I've never had the dad honey mustard, the well done bake with the extra sauce and the extra cheese. You know I have to do it every single time. That's better. And last, we are going to unveil the daddy bowl, the Papa Bowl. I've never seen this yet. You have 4 options. They had the Italian, the chicken Alfredo, the veggie, and the build your own. We're gonna create our own. I don't know how to trust them. We're just gonna make our own. But I don't know what this looks like. The Papa Bowl is a weird concept, but let's see what we have and I'll explain it when we pull this out. Daddy bowl. Daddy, what? Hey, man, what the we trying to unveil and it inceptioned me. All right, let's try it again. Oh, they added a plastic utensil. Dub. Edit that. We're not editing it. Let's do it again. Papa Bowl. This is a Papa Bowl. Let me explain to you what the Papa Bowl is. It's everything you would get on a pizza with no pizza. If you're keto, W idea. If you're not keto, get a pizza. I'm sorry. But you have the toppings. I got a Hawaiian themed one. So we have barbecue sauce instead of regular sauce. We've got the cheese. We've got some jalapenos. I asked for banana peppers, but I guess they ran out of those. Some chicken, as well as some... Is there pineapple in here? Allegedly pineapple, which I don't see. They just made their own. They didn't even care. Yo, dad. Que cosa, bro? What you doing to me, bro? You're making me look bad in front of these people. I'm still gonna eat it anyway, but there's supposed to be pineapple. I don't see no pineapple. I don't smell no pineapple. I asked for banana peppers, got jalapenos. Dad was on strike today, bro. Dad was mad at me. It is what it is. But because I am not the type of person that is just going to eat this with a fork, I got these cheesy breadsticks to use as a dipping apparatus. Now, all of this together, just these two, which is what I would do if you were getting a Papa Bowl, cost you, I believe, like, I want to say about 15 bucks. You can just get this pizza and it cost me $6.49. You can just get this pizza and it cost me $6.49. But we are here to make content, so this is why I got it. They put this in here. So the Papa Bowl, first bite of the what the hell is this Papa Bowl? Barbecue, no pineapple, and jalapenos because they mad at me. There's 67 jalapenos in here. So it's very jalapeno-ish. If you're keto, W idea. If you're not keto, don't waste your time. That's literally my whole review. I have nothing else to say about this. It just doesn't really do the same. You can literally get this instead of this. With that being said, we're still going to go in. I want to try it with the non-cut. Dad was on strike today, bro. Let's go in with the breadstick, which is actually just a pizza. And let's try to do something with this, but I don't really think it's going to... We're just going to use it like a freaking pita, bro. Here we go. Breadsticks smack. They slap. Bay Area. Slap. I'm just finished roll, y'all. But again, keto people, great concept. Other than that, I'm going to give this like a whatever rating. Don't go out of your way to get it. It's literally the same thing. It's good marketing. But you know we make content here, so I'm going to try it either way. But they literally gave me barbecue chicken and jalapenos and that's it. So, we took a bit of an L. That's why I got this pizza as a backup. So I was just going to get this, and I was like, nah, that ain't finna smack. Slap. Bang. But I'm going to leave it at that. If you just wanted to see the bowl, I'm not going to hold y'all. We got to pour our drink. Got the Diet Pepsi. They threw this in. Thank you, Dad. Got to get my Pepsi going. We got a big topic to talk about, but I do want to try this pizza right here and see if the chicken bacon ranch, make sure you put a cap on this, we don't like non-fizzy soda here, is a banger. Get a quick sip, just a, you know. Diet Pepsi's a dub, man. I don't care what nobody says. I like my diet soda. Chicken bacon ranch. There is pieces of bacon here, but because there's extra cheese, it is severely hidden. Extra ranch, well done bake with the chicken. I'm just ready to go. This is a medium pizza. On their deals, their little meal deals that they get are $6.49 if you get two things, which I got the brownie, so that's a W order. I would just get that if you ask me. But let's try this with the ranch base. Ooh. Chicken bacon ranch is such a basic combo. You see it on a billion sandwiches. No, hey, mustard player. The well done bake always matters. Got an extra sauce. They don't charge you for extra sauce at most pizza places. Always use that option. But something about like that creamy ranch with that like basic grilled chicken taste, and you get that salty bacon, it just hits diffy, man. That's a dub pizza. Really gotta go in. A little bit of garlic, butter. The dad was off their game today. Oh, I forgot. Special seasoning. I don't know what the hell this is. But we're gonna put it on this next piece. Then we're gonna just, you know what? I'm not gonna ruin my whole pizza. Let's just do that. Let's get a bite of that. Let's see what this is hitting for. And it's on there. See it? Look. It's on there. Hold on, let's get a little more on the top. Yeah, you see that. Here. Just grab the thing. A lot of pepper. That caught me off guard, bro. I just inhaled like 13 pepper pieces. That special seasoning adds a little something to it, huh? Y'all ever do that? Y'all ever ask for them little seasoning packets and stuff? Let's go in with the garlic butter. It's a dumb pizza. No doubt about it. Again, we're grading this on a franchise pizza scale. Can't compare this to the real mom and pops. It's not fair. Pizza costs like $6.50. That's about as much as a hot and ready these days. It's like alone the dad pizza's okay, but when you start adding like a little stuff to it, it does hit. I'd be lying to say otherwise, my man. Though that special seasoning. What's in here? I'm definitely getting like dehydrated garlic, salt, spices, dehydrated onion, parsley, and paprika. I don't know where Papa John got this from, but that's usually what most people, like at least black people, put on everything they make. Garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and spices. That's like the base. That's what we start off every meal with. At least I do. When I cook, the first things I put on everything, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and then you can use like some Tony Chachere's or like some Slap Your Mama or like some kind of seasoning blend. That's what I put on everything, so it just seemed very familiar. Who's still, Colonel Sanders? I'm gonna leave that alone. One time before I open my mouth and start on in the topic, I want to try the Dad Brownie. $6.50. Get you this. At most places, one of these is $2. So you get 9 pieces of a warm brownie. This is crumbly, got a nice crust. Let me see. I can't even grab this thing. Here we go. Daddy Brownie. It's okay. This ain't got nothing on lava cakes, got nothing on cinnamon pull parts. And from a fast food brownie range, to get a warm brownie, considering I paid $6 for it, I don't think it's bad, it's good. But there definitely are better in this genre of the fast food dessert. I feel like what it's missing, there are only a minimal amount, okay, I'm sounding super bougie, but I'm just keeping it a buck. There are only a minimal amount of chocolate chips, and I would have liked to have more on the inside. The crust is good. The texture is okay. I like that fudgy. And this ain't fudgy. It's just chocolate. I'm gonna grab this little one piece because I don't want to make it uneven. Yeah, see? On a fast food brownie scale, I'll probably give this like a 6. It's solid, but there are much, much better options. But we got a good one for you. That sounds like Steve Harvey. Well, we got a good one for you today. I had to go in on this topic. Y'all brought the passion when I was talking about the gender thing when it came to men and the expectations and why we seem to be dropping the ball when it comes to dating. But this one's for you ladies. Y'all ain't safe. I'm gonna be fair, but some of y'all, we gotta get this ironed out. So let me give you the exact comment. It's a long one, pause. So I'm gonna read this off. Okay, so here we go. You may have already mentioned this. I paused the video to type this, so sorry if you mentioned it in advance. Thank you, that's nice of you. I have noticed in social media a lot of men are getting offended and upset that women are acknowledging that in the past the bar had been set extremely low, that's in caps, for men, and that the standards that us women hold them to have to go up. For example, women will praise their man for not cheating on them, when loyalty is the absolute bare minimum. Loyalty comes with the relationship. It's a requirement, not a luxury, so why are we praising them for it? The bar is set extremely low for men, however. When I talk with men, they expect so much more than an actual female partner. Not just a hookup, that's in parentheses. They want a woman that will bring all these different things to the table, and in exchange for what they expect, we praise them for just being loyal. It's such a problem, and I'm glad women are upping their standards and looking for things that are actually important, that's in caps, such as someone's character, what their beliefs are, and how they treat the people around them. Let's go. Ladies, I didn't go in on the things that I feel like women have skewed because it wasn't the appropriate time. Now understand this. Standards are your standards. Every person who is looking to date has standards, regardless of gender. Saying that you're praising someone for doing the bare minimum, we all do that. I'd hate to tell you this, but when I ask most men, especially men over the age of 25, which means you've had a pretty decent dating history at this point, what you look for in a woman, you know what the first thing that comes out of their mouth is? Loyalty. Chris Brown made a song about it. If you think for 1 second that women, as a whole, are loyal compared to men, I'd hate to tell you this, but you're dead wrong. There are a lot of women out there that are very, very not loyal. And I'm putting that as bluntly as I can. How do I know that? I don't want to out myself, but somewhere around the age of 20 to 25, I have been the recipient. And when I mean the recipient, I was the other guy a lot of times. I went through a phase in my life. And in that phase, because I was heartbroken, I didn't care what your relationship status was. And neither did a lot of you. Am I saying, and if you're offended by this, you're not listening. Because I never once said all women. But a lot more women are promiscuous in the sense of stepping out of their relationship, which is different than being promiscuous when you're single, than you think. Most men, when they say, oh, you got a real one, when they're talking about women, they mean she's loyal, she's valid, she's not going to do things behind your back. And that is a lot more common than you think. Herein lies the issue. Most of the time when men get cheated on, I'm going to grab my pizza for this. Sound like Mr. Rogers, we're having a heart-to-heart. I know a lot of men who've been cheated on that I didn't find out about it until years later. My own friends, my own family. You know why? Because in the same way that we bottle our emotions, we bottle our heartbreak. So when we bottle our heartbreak, we don't tell anyone. So a man will get cheated on and not tell a soul. He won't tell anybody. I mean his brother. I mean his best friend. Anybody. I've been cheated on. I ain't tell nobody. Because as a man, you see that as a sign of weakness. As in, what did you do? You must have not been satisfying your partner. So we don't say anything. Loyalty is a bare minimum for all genders, not just women. We praise women for being loyal the same way that you praise us. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. Being honest, sharing the same values, and things of that nature are not gender exclusive. Most people only try to understand one end of things. They say, okay, well, all men blank, all women blank. The truth is, we all got our issues. Our issues are different. I spoke about this on dating apps. From a woman's sense, you're on a dating app and you're weeding out bad people. You get hundreds of matches in a day. Most men would be lucky if they got hundreds of matches over the entire lifespan of a 5-year run on a dating app. I'm not exaggerating. I've spoken to men who use dating apps that have had like 4 matches in a year. So, we put a lot more stake when it comes into things like that. Praising someone for doing the bare minimum is a commodity in this age because most people don't do the bare minimum. Women and men. Now, realistic expectations are expected on both ends. As a man, if you expect your woman to cook, clean, take care of the house, and work, you're an idiot. I'd hate to tell you that. She's just as tired as you. She worked 8 hours just like you. Pick up a broom. Ladies, same thing though. I have spoken to a lot of women about this, and a lot of you can't pinpoint exactly what it is that you're looking for. But there are things that are required of men or expected of men that a lot of women, not all, are looking for. 1, to be a breadwinner. Most women don't want to date a guy who's not making a lot of money. Or you will look down on a man who's not making a lot of money. I've seen women laugh at men who are working class, which means they have a 9 to 5, they work hard for their money, and they have it. But they don't have a ton of it. So what exactly above the bare minimum are you looking for in a relationship that you are expecting to praise someone for? These days, those foundational traits in relationships, again, like loyalty, honesty, similar values, ain't nobody doing them. And whether you like to believe it or not, the bar is extremely low for everyone at this point. When I was talking about men getting 4 or 5 matches the entire time, you act different when you have a lot of matches. When there are hundreds of guys trying to talk to you, you weed out people for things like saying hello. It wasn't enough effort to say hello. That's your prerogative. But it happens. I posted this story on my Instagram asking these questions, and a lot of women said things that were, to me, I was like, wow. Y'all got some standards. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But some, to me, in my opinion, of your standards are a little too unrealistic. Someone introducing themselves is being cordial. They don't have to. I'm going to put it like this. Ladies, especially in the beginning of a relationship, the ones who actually have good intentions, they're not going to try to come at you with game. Because it doesn't want to be a game. It's not a game. They're coming at you like a human being would. Now, I'm not talking about somebody that comes at you and says something that's a little too fresh or things like that. That's unrealistic on a man's end. But a man coming at you and just saying hello, it's just saying hello. That's the way that we look at it. A lot of times men and women argue because things get lost in translation. I'm going to give you a perfect example. If she's watching this, I don't give a shit. Look, I have clients, bro, okay? And I have clients that are on dating apps and talk to me about this kind of stuff. So in this case, I have a woman client. And this is where that bare minimum thing comes in. You know that whole men are from Mars, women are from Venus thing? It's real. What that means is we speak different languages. We're not cut from the same cloth. And we don't understand each other. So we try to impress the other sex by doing things that we think we would like. And that's where things get screwed up. So in this particular case, a guy was talking to a girl. It was probably a Monday. So by Wednesday, they realized that things were kind of like a spark. So the guy said, would you want to go out on Friday? And the woman said, yeah, I would. And the guy said, okay, yes, then, cool. So they're talking from there on out. And then Friday comes. And just like most dates in this day and age, people like to confirm said date. Are we still good for tonight? Yes. So about a couple hours before the date, the guy goes to the woman and he says, sorry for spitting, I don't give a shit, I'm talking while I'm eating. It is what it is, this is important, let me talk. And he says, we're still on for tonight? She says, yes. He says, okay. Well, do you have any idea of where you'd like to go? I know there's a lot of women rolling their eyes right now, and I'm going to get to the point. So the woman took that as, well, how interested was he? He didn't plan anything. She's not wrong. So her next thing that she did was say, actually, you know what? I'm busy tonight. I'm sorry. We'll have to do this another time. Because she was mad. He didn't put enough effort in for her. I get that. Let me talk. So 2 days later, she tries to message him again. He starts one-wording her. And she said, oh, well, now you're not interested? Whatever, bye. Now, these kinds of things happen a lot. A lot. Here's what happened. Y'all don't speak the same language. A lot of times men approach women thinking like a man. The players know better than that. They think, what would she want? What does she want to do? They're trying to get in your head. A person with decent intentions that doesn't understand these things is going to drop the ball, especially initially, because it doesn't understand yet. So, women look at things a lot differently than men. If a woman is hanging out with another woman as a friend, and they're hanging out on Friday, y'all usually got them plans in concrete 2 or 3 days before, because y'all need to know what y'all wearing, depending on the occasion. What should I wear? Are we going to a nice place? Are we going to a dressy place? Are we going to these kind of places? What should I bring? These kinds of things. It's a lot different. Women are a little more meticulous when it comes into planning things. There are a smaller spectrum of guys that are big planners when it comes to these things. Conversely, when I'm hanging out with one of my dudes, my boys, or we going out on Friday, here's how it goes. Hey, yo, Friday, we out? Yeah. I don't say nothing else about it until Friday. I might not even figure out where we're going until we get in the car. Because to him, the hard part was figuring out if you're free on Friday and what you want to do. So as soon as you said yes, in his head, he said, oh, hell yeah, she's cool. I get to hang out with her on Friday. That's all he cared about. He doesn't care about the destination. He doesn't care about where y'all going. It doesn't matter to him. Think about it like weddings are treated. Most men do not care what their wedding is like. The wedding is for you. All we care about is who we walking down that aisle with. Who are we saying I do with? After that, I don't care. Most guys I talk to, myself included, I could care how much the wedding costs. Never mattered to me. If I get married, all that matters is the woman I'm married to. We could dead ass get married in City Hall, and I wouldn't even care. Because that doesn't matter to me. All that matters is the who. The who is one of many things when it comes to women. Y'all are a lot more complex when it comes to your thought process. So, you want to know what you're doing ahead of time, so you can be prepared. As a man, we don't really think about those kinds of things, so a lot of guys don't understand that. So we screwed up, he dropped the ball on that. But it wasn't because he didn't like her. It was because he didn't understand how to operate correctly. There's a huge difference between the two. So, when you backed out on that Friday night, and you said, I'm busy, that guy's brain immediately went, click, she don't like me. And even if she still did, which she might have, but that turned her off, red flag, I'm running, y'all know how to vibe is. After that, his brain is done. As a guy, when you feel like you are about to look stupid, a lot of guys shut down. Because we've been there before, and we understand how bad it looks when we look stupid. So, you're either going to have a guy apply pressure and start to act crazy and be like, okay, well, you don't like me and start insulting you? Dead wrong, don't do that. Or, most guys, I'm done. She don't like me, might as well just try and move on. Your brain's different now. You're wired different. I've done this. Not that, but in particular. There are a lot of things that women may not take lightly that if you do to me, I will immediately, my entire energy will change with you. For example, you know how some women will say things like, oh, well, I'm the type of person who texts, but sometimes I forget to text back. If you forget to text me back, you ain't that interested. I don't care. There's no excuse. And I'm not talking about texting me back right away. If I only hear from you once every 24 hours, I don't care what it is. My brain, my wiring is different. It's done. It's chalked. I know in your head, you're like, oh, well, I didn't. Stop. You look at your phone 24 hours a day. It just wasn't a priority to you. In my head, and in most people's heads. That might not be gender exclusive, but this happens. If your replies are once every 24 hours, goodbye. If you leave me on red, goodbye. If you double tap my message, goodbye. That, from the day I got an iPhone, the day I had social media, if I message you something and you like it, whatever, bro, I'm out. I'm being serious. I might be overthinking things. Who overthinks more, though? A lot of times when it comes to men, we're very direct, and it gets us in trouble because we say stupid stuff. Now, I'm not talking about the type of guy that's just trying to get something out of you, if you catch my drift. Those type of people you need to avoid. If that's not what you're looking for and you get that vibe, you gotta go. But sometimes there are genuine people that just genuinely, they're clueless. And I know in this day and age, because the dating pool for you is so large, you seem to forget about these things. A lot of times men open up like things with hello for this simple reason. Hear me out. Because this one seems a little complicated sometimes. They're nervous. You look good. And these days, dating in 2022 is like playing Minesweeper, bro. I don't know if y'all ever played Minesweeper, but you know how you click the little buttons and all of a sudden, boom, you get like the red and the bombs. That's what it's like. You say one wrong thing, and I'm not even talking about being too fresh, being rude, anything. The one wrong thing, done. I'm moving on. It is a quick eject button for a lot of women these days because your options are there, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just telling you that some of your standards, especially initially, you're not interested in getting to know somebody. You want a finished product who understands you, and how? How can I understand you? I don't know you. Because you wrote, I like chicken in my bio? Sometimes if you're really interested in somebody, the biggest problem is communication on both sides. The lack of communication, of actual communication. Because instead of telling him, hey, you waited until the last minute to plan, that's not cool. You know what most guys that cared would do? wow, I'm sorry, I never thought about it like that. Now, if he does it again, eject. But some people are actually clueless. Some men use humor in situations that they probably shouldn't be used. Women are guilty of this too. Some people are built that way, and compatibility does matter, but sometimes it's just miscommunication. And you'll lose out on somebody who potentially actually cared about you, both ways, because you just have this idea of what the perfect person is because you watch too many Ryan Gosling films. Those people were written. That's a book. It's a fantasy. It's like men who watch adult films. Okay? That's not real life. I'm not a plumber and I go to fix your drain and then you want me to fix your drain. Some men think that way. They're stupid. But with that being said, if that's how you think it's supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be Matthew McConaughey, who's like, hey, you drop your stuff, I got your book here, and that's not how it works, bro. You're not gonna inadvertently bump into somebody on a shopping cart and be on a date in 2 days, and then it's not how it works. I understand. Oh, it's cute, but that's not it. Okay, The Notebook is a movie. Some of the best people that I've met, the women that I've dated, were freaking weird in the beginning. See that? It's the ghost. But sometimes you have to see that in people. And I'm not talking about weird stuff like, oh, well, I collect heads in my basement. That's not what I'm talking about. But when the pool is that big, the reason the bare minimum is there is because most people ain't got it. So if somebody is doing the things to show they care in the beginning, which is the bare minimum, communicating with you, not walking out on you, things like that. Sometimes it takes a little bit to be comfortable because most people put on a front in the beginning. Women are guilty of this too. I've dated women and found out who they were in 6 months after dating them. I'm like, hold up, who is this? It's a whole new person. It just comes with that. But the speed dating era, if you're going to talk to 400 guys in a day, and I'm not saying that in a negative way, if that's what you want to do, do it. Understand, 392 are going to be weird. Going to be people that you don't like. And you're going to have to weed through a lot more crap to get to something that's general. Because here's the thing. I said this the other day. 90% of women go after 10% of men. That's something that I truly believe. Okay? When you're on these dating apps, again, I talk to women who use them. Y'all reject, swipe left, whatever the hell is called, on 90% of the men you see. Nah, ooh, him. So you swipe left on 90 people, you swipe right on 10. Of those 10, how many other women you think swiped right on those same 10? So when you're dealing with that 10% type of dude, guess what? He's not going to chase you. And he's not going to put in effort in the beginning. You know why? The same reason you don't. Because he doesn't have to. Because he's got matches just like you do. So he's got a quick ejection button just like you do. And that's where the problem lies. The ones you want ain't chasing you. So all those people sliding in your DMs, all those people that are swiping in your like box or whatever, I don't know what it's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If they're in your like box, let me get this brownie. Now this one was crusty. Let me get this brownie. But if they're in your like box, I'll tell you right now, the ones that you're going after, their like box is just as big as yours. It's just as fat as yours. They might never see you. And they're not putting in the same effort that somebody that you looks at you and is you're one of 2 or 3 matches they have. They're going to put in all the effort because that's all they got. But as a dude, if I got 400 matches and you do something funny, I'm doing the same thing as you. The eject button. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm a bare minimum dude. You know why I'm a bare minimum dude? And I'm not saying this is a flex. I'm not saying this because it makes me good, because it doesn't. But the truth of the matter is, I've never chased a woman in my life. You know those little toxic games that women play? They expect, want me to well, put in some effort. I'm good. Either we're putting in effort or no one is. You know why? Because I never had an issue with it. My effort comes later on in the relationship. When I just meet you, don't expect me to be Matthew McConaughey. If you don't want to get down on this McChicken, guess what? We're good. If Applebee's 2 for $20 ain't for you, we're good. If you don't want to meet in a coffee shop first time I meet you, we're good. Not as a flex. Because, like most people who are busy and have things to do, if I want to decide that I want to invest more time, F the money, with you, I need to know that we're on the same wavelength. And lastly, that whole competition thing, another reason that they did not put in this article that the number of single and lonely men are rising are because it ain't worth it. The thing that I kept saying in that last video was one thing and one thing only. Protect your peace. And a lot of dudes live by the same creed. A lot of women do too. Don't get me twisted. But I'm just telling you. A lot of dudes live by the same creed. If you're talking to 50 guys, I'm good. Like, I understand that you're like, well, you know, stand out. Nah. I'd rather just work on myself. Because the more you work on yourself, the less you'll have to work. You don't believe me? You ever meet a millionaire that has to work? That's over a slide in your DMs? Why do people get so gassed when a blue check slides in your DMs? Because it's not common. Even though it's more common than you think. But that's not a common person. So when they slide in your DMs and they're like, hey, that's what they say. Oh my God, so-and-so slid in my DMs. People that have social status, as a man, because those are the things that you value in men. Social status, socioeconomic status, height, hairline, those kind of things. The further a man rises in the world, the less he has to work for that stuff. Working class dudes will pull out everything in the world for you if they actually think that it's worth it. But in this day and age, with how things have changed, a lot of dudes who are working class are just like, I'm just going to get this money, man. They've been through the BS before, especially if you're over the age of 25. You are not wrong for having standards. You should. Standards and bare minimum are two different things. But understand something. The older you get, the more those bare minimum things rise to the top. You have no idea. None. You don't believe me? If you were in your 20s right now, find a woman in her 30s or her 40s and ask her what she's looking for in a man. Vice versa too. Find a man in his 30s and 40s and ask him what he's looking for in a woman. How you look is like fifth. And again, I'm talking about a mate. You start thinking about different things. Mental well-being. Parent style. Man, I think he'd be a good dad or a good mom. These things come up. Is she going to be loyal? Is he going to be loyal? Praising someone for doing the bare minimum, and y'all say, okay, that's like praising somebody for, you know, having a job. Not everybody got a job, bro. Unemployment, hey. And now we talk about jobs. Not everybody has a good job, and less people have a great job. So it's not necessarily a bare minimum thing. And as far as you saying that we have more of a prerequisite from you, I don't think so. The ones who are really looking for someone to be with for a long time do not care about what you spend on your hair, nails, and makeup. That's for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't get it twisted. That's not for a guy. They don't care. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not important. Most dudes in general don't care about makeup. Don't care about your clothes. They don't care about that kind of stuff. That's more for you. It's just like how dudes think that we have to have a nice body, whereas most part women, they don't care about that. Y'all care about different stuff. But that bare minimum thing is a bit twisted. Because the bare minimum is not, like, bare minimum means you're doing something. And most people ain't doing nothing. If I'm interested in you in the beginning, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. You're getting the bare minimum. As we grow together, you will get more of me. And I expect the same from you. I will match your energy. If you're not giving me the bare minimum, I'm out. If you are giving me the bare minimum, and I am, as time grows and we grow together, then the bare minimum bar gets risen. But when you're talking about meeting somebody at face value, yes, the bare minimum is what it's supposed to be. If some guy is trying to spend money on you and he doesn't know you, if some guy is telling you everything you want to hear and he doesn't know you, I'm going to tell you this. That guy is a fraud. He has ulterior motives and you don't see them. And then you're going to call him an F-boy because you fell for the okie doke. If I don't know you and I'm talking about flying you out, if I don't know you and I'm talking about buying some expensive steakhouse or taking you to some expensive place or giving you some expensive gift and I just met you, just understand, that's game. That's somebody putting what is considered his value, he thinks, right in your face. If it has to do with money. And if they're telling you all the things you want to hear, ooh, I never felt this way about you before. Oh, you're special. You're different from the ones I've always been. That's game. And you're falling for it. The real Prince Charming is not on a white horse with the armor and all that stuff, bro. He's in some jeans and boots. And those are the ones that'll treat you right. The ones that in the beginning might be the little reservations too, because they've been hurt just like you have. They have feelings just like you have, and they don't want to look stupid just like you don't. That's why we praise the bare minimum. There's a huge difference. Ladies, I love you. Y'all are like better than us as men in general. But don't think just because you have 500 dudes trying to talk to you that it means that 500 dudes are going to be good. Like, at this point, I'm not 20. Bare minimum is not common for anybody. Anybody. A lot of women just sit there and expect, and give nothing in return. And I'm not talking about that giving. I'm talking about anything. Any effort. Any consistency. Anything. And that's a guy, I can tell you a lot of guys feel like they're being used just like you. It might not be using you for that, but it's for other stuff. Money. Attention's a big one. So they're nervous just like you. They're scared just like you. And those 4 matches, they might screw it up. Now again, I'm talking about good people. I'm not talking about people with ulterior motives that is just trying to get up in there. No. That's an unrealistic expectation for a guy. I'll be the first one to tell you that. But we have to get on the same page. And the biggest thing that I can give anybody who's trying to date out there, like I'm an expert or some shit, but communication. Communication. You have issues, you communicate them. You don't say things like, oh, no, I'm just going to stay home tonight. Because what that sounds like to a guy, I don't care. And as a guy, try to understand and communicate so that you can understand what it is. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I've asked a lot of women, they don't even know what they want. So you got to ask them, again, not in a weird way, not a what do you want way, but if you're unsure, ask the question. Because it's literally like trapdoors out here, bro. Say the wrong thing, whoop, you gone. So I wanted to go in on that. Ladies, I definitely understand your struggle with men. Like I do. I've talked about them ad nauseum in the last one. But what women don't understand, and again, I'm talking about good people, not jerks, not people who are looking for different things and lying to you. I'm talking about good people. When it comes to a good dude, they struggle too. And a lot of them are afraid to say these things. But personally, I don't give a shit. So y'all gotta just like listen and communicate. You know, don't do things you're not comfortable with. Don't do things because you think he might like them. Like all that stuff when y'all trying to plan stuff. When you're like, oh, like, you know, I'm gonna plan a date for this guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most guys don't care. They just care about the company. They care about who you are. Like we can go sit on a park bench and vibe. Like it don't matter. And that's why you get a lot of that like hang out on the couch thing. Not everybody that's trying to bring you for Netflix is chilling actually trying to do that. Now don't go. But not everybody who's doing that, they're doing it because it doesn't matter. The venue never mattered. Like, that's why that coffee shop and all that other stuff comes. And another thing, last before I go, don't hit people with that if you're broke, just say that. Like, not everybody is rich. But even rich people, to a certain extent, are not trying to just spend money. The way that money is valued from a man, if we know that's what you have of value and we start handing it out, it's the same thing as you trying to hand out the things that men value. So a lot of men will try to stay away from that because we feel like, is she using me just to get a meal? So we tend not to want to do it in the beginning. It's not about being broke. It's about the value of it and letting it go. It's just like sleeping with somebody on the first date. It's about the value of it and letting it go. Sometimes you want to feel like, is he just using me for that? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do something and be like, oh, okay. So that's why a lot of men will do that. Like, it's the value thing. And we know as men that the way you guys talk about certain things, like, you know, you get upset because some man will say, oh, well, I don't want a person who's been sleeping around and blah, blah, blah. I don't really get that, but here's the counterpoint to it. If you were dating, like, because we look at it as a man, like, if you were, like, getting with everybody in that manner, you know, a lot of guys will say, well, okay, well, I can't take her seriously because you're just willing to do that with anybody. So it's not special. That's your prerogative. That's not anyone's issue. No one's talking about the morality of it. But from dating, a lot of men don't want that. And I'm going to tell you why. As a man, that's the thing that is when men hold value in. Hear me out. I'm not trying to be misogynist or anything like that. I'm just giving you the counterpoint. If you were dating a guy, or you were going to go on a date with a guy, and before you went on a date with that guy, one of your friends was like, oh, you're going on a date with him? He takes everybody out. He spends money on everybody. You might go, because it's food, it's free, whatever it is, right? But if he's taking all these girls out and spending money all the time, are you going to take him seriously? Are you going to think, oh, this is a good boyfriend? Or are you going to be like, you know, I'm not going to take this guy seriously, but I'll entertain it because whatever, like, it's a free meal, what do I got to lose? I answer that honestly. Because I've presented that point to a lot of people and they're like, you know what, you're right. I don't think you take him seriously if he's out there just tricking on everybody. If he's been engaged 10 times. If he's taken multiple women to one steakhouse that's really, really expensive and, you know, the guy knows him on a first name, oh, it's this girl tonight. You're going to be like, how many times do you do this? It's not the action, it's the value aspect. So I present that to you. You can write in the comments what you want to. Again, this is just me playing devil's advocate and trying to show people from both sides where people stand. I'm not speaking just on my own behalf. I'm speaking on men that I've spoken to and women that I've spoken to's behalf. If you feel differently about it, keep it respectful. I'm not being disrespectful. I have no anything wrong with what people want to do as long as they're not hurting anybody. I am not a judge. I am not a jury. I'm nothing like that. I don't judge people based off that. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I love you. But that's going to be the end of the video. We went super long today, pause, but I feel like there's some things that I've spoken about that, you know, on both ends that I think both people might want to hear and provide some discussion. If we can get to a point, I have no issue about bringing people on here and we can talk about this kind of stuff because I think it's nice to hear a lady's perspective or another guy's perspective. I have no problem with that. As long as discussions are respectful and we're trying to understand each other is the end game. But that's going to be the end of the video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. But we will be back tomorrow. More content. I love you. Out of hand signs. They made it to YouTube.